Baldurs Gate 3 is coming to the PlayStation 5. Here's what that means for Dungeons & Dragons.
Let me explain.
Yesterday, Larian Studios made the surprise announcement that Baldurs Gate 3 would be released for the PlayStation 5, and will officially launch on Steam, PC, and Mac, and the PlayStation 5 on August 31st. While this is technically not the first D&D game released for the PS5, who here has played Dark Alliance, Baldurs Gate 3 will be the first AAA game and certainly seems like it will be one of the big releases of 2023 for the PlayStation 5. Now, yesterday's announcement helps to explain why Hasbro CEO Chris Cox said that Hasbro expected Baldurs Gate 3 to have a significant financial impact on D&D's profit and loss in 2023. At the time that Cox made his statement, it seemed odd because Baldurs Gate 3 had been available through early access for years, and it isn't exactly one of Steam's top wish-listed games, which is usually a good gauge for launch performance and sales. Now, we don't know the exact financial details between Larian Studios and Wizards of the Coast, but it stands to reason that Hasbro is expecting the launch of Baldurs Gate 3 on the PlayStation 5 to be a significant financial mover that, when coupled with the release of the D&D movie, should drum up some significant interest in the overall D&D franchise. Now, we'll note that Dungeons & Dragons is well positioned to capitalize on Baldurs Gate 3. There's a conveniently branded Baldurs Gate adventure that was released back in 2019 that even features a couple of subtle tie-ins to the game. While you won't fight Illithid in Baldur's Gate Descent into Avernus, in fact, you won't even be on the same plane as Baldur's Gate for most of that adventure, players should be able to recognize the Baldur's Gate from the game as the same Baldur's Gate that is in the D&D adventure. The mechanics to Baldur's Gate 3 are also based off of 5th edition rules, providing a convenient lead-in of sorts for anyone who wants to try out Dungeons & Dragons after exploring the Forgotten Realms in Baldur's Gate 3. Now, it may be a little presumptuous to say that Dungeons & Dragons is betting their future on the success of Baldur's Gate 3's PS5 sales, but it's likely that the game's performance will make a major impact on how Wizards approaches future D&D games. Let's not forget that Wizards cut multiple D&D video game projects earlier this year, so Baldur's Gate 3 will need to do well to show that there's a market for these big AAA D&D focused games, and hopefully will lead to more future D&D video games, leading to a new golden age of D&D video games like what we had in the late 90s and early 2000s. So, will you be getting Baldur's Gate 3 on the PlayStation 5? Do you think that it will be a big success? Let us know in the comment section, and don't forget to hit those like and subscribe buttons.